Tony's Topics. Tony's Topics. What's happening, folks? My name is Tony. Welcome to Tony's Topics. Okay, so what are we talking about? The NBA. Alright. As you know, this weekend is pretty much the Pro Bowl for the NFL, and it's beginning to celebrate the end of the NFL season. So everybody's like, what do you do once the NFL dies? You watch basketball, of course. That's what it's about anyway. Basketball being a sport that lasts for a good, 8 or 9 months out of the year. So you can pretty much watch basketball almost all year round. And that's what you do. So, looking at basketball, we're at the mid-year point of the season, and now the drama has begun. Okay, so where do I want to start off? Let's start off in the East. Fewer teams, less to talk about. So the Raptors have finally gotten DeMar DeRozan back, yet it doesn't seem like DeMar DeRozan is performing like he was before he went. But we'll see if he can get it back together and start getting back to having those 20-point-plus games. Okay, then there's the Bulls. The Bulls are good, but like I said, Thibodeau isn't playing that team right. I mean, he doesn't even want to give Taj Gibson 30 minutes a night most times, and that's ridiculous. And then he's not even playing Nikola Mirotic. I don't understand. Honestly, the Bulls are the best they've been, I think, since the days of Jordan. But with a coach not playing the team right, that team is destined for failure. And, they've lost way more games than I would expect them to with a star roster like that. And Jimmy Butler is my man's name. I couldn't remember his name on the last episode, but Jimmy Butler. But anyway, Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Taj Gibson, Pau Gasol, Joakim Noah. There's no excuse. Oh, and then you have Nikola Mirotic coming in as your backup big man. You have McDermott that you could have as a backup small forward if you wanted to. Dunleavy as a backup small forward. Henrik as your backup. Oh, Aaron Brooks, first of all, as the backup guard because that guy is insane. And then behind him, Henrik. But yet, this guy insists on starting guys like Henrik and Dunleavy over better players. No, I'm sorry, the Bulls don't have a chance. Not with that coach. Keep it moving. Washington is a great team. Anything stellar? I don't think so, but still a great team overall. And then, of course, there's Cleveland who wraps it up. Finally, Cleveland has a starting five that is actually threatening. I mean, between Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith, both guys can score over 20 points. That's scary. Then you bring in LeBron James at small forward. Man, I should have stopped and ended this conversation with LeBron James. But LeBron James is small forward. Enough said. Then you've got Kevin Love at power forward and Timothy Mozgov, who has proven himself to be the better center. I mean, I'm sorry, but my boy Tristan Thompson just wasn't scoring like this Mozgov kid. Tristan Thompson would occasionally get games over 10 or 11 points. Mozgov is seeming, it's like almost 3 out of 4 games this guy is going to score over 10 points a game. So he's sick. Either way it goes. Does that mean that my boy Timothy should get less than 30 minutes a night? Absolutely not. I mean, Kevin Love should probably be pulling like 33 minutes a night. Timothy Mozgov should probably be getting about 33 minutes a night, 30, 36 to Love, whatever, because Love is the best scorer out of the three. But my boy Tristan Thompson should still be getting 30 minutes a night. He just hustles too hard not to get the time. And now Dellavedova actually has some competition for the backup guard position with Iman Shumpert. That guy could easily put Dellavedova out, or with Tristan Thompson being subject to injury, you could run Tristan Thompson 30 minutes, Dellavedova 18, because the kid does pass the ball. And then you could run like J.R. Smith 30 minutes and Shumpert 18, or whatever. All I know is get the right players on the court, and I don't care if you don't play Dellavedova. And at best, Sean Marion is a backup small forward. Again, I hate this for my boy Brendan Haywood, who would seem to be a decent center back in the, decent center. Maybe he'll get some time. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But honestly, the Cleveland Cavaliers finally look like they can actually make a run at this thing. Just like OKC in a lot of ways, I'm sorry, did I forget the Hawks? The dominating Hawks, who have only lost 8 games at midseason? Oh my gosh, that team is playing complete. What a threatening team. And if you didn't believe it before, last night's win over OKC, did OKC play the night before? That might, make me take away counting the credibility of said win. But the bottom line is the Hawks still beat OKC. Wow. If you didn't believe the Hawks were real before, you better believe it now. So let's go to the West Coast. Okay. Filling out the bottom seed is OKC, and I've gone on extensions of why Scotty Brooks needs to be removed as the head coach of OKC. Goodness gracious, you just sit Reggie Jackson, a guy who could distribute the ball for you. You just can't put Westbrook at the shooting guard. It just kill you, huh? Serge Ibaka, Kevin Durant, your kid Steve Adams, and with a backup in Perkins, there's just no excuse for OKC. You got to move that coach before that team breaks up. Because make no doubt, Durant, it's going to dawn on Durant that I'm not going to win with this coach. Moving on, the Spurs. The Spurs aren't the same Spurs of last year. Everybody's healthy, but Popovich is messing up. There's 3 guards that should be getting major time on the Spurs: Patty Mills, Tony Parker, and Corey Joseph. And that pretty much wraps up your point guard, shooting guard positions. Sorry, Danny Green, but you're only good for 10 minutes a night. So why does Popovich keep running you for 30 minutes? I have no idea. You're like a 24-minute player at best, and honestly, with guys like Corey Joseph and Patty Mills and Tony Parker, I just don't really see you getting much play time. Then you got Kawhi Leonard and Ginobili. And Ginobili's a 30-minute player, easy, over 30. But so is Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a star in and of himself, too. So, and then you got Tim Duncan. If anybody should be getting 30 minutes, 36 minutes a night, it's Tim Duncan. So, it's nice to play DL. You want him in there, but I'm sorry. And then Baines gets his time. And then Thiago Splitter's probably the guy who should be getting 24 minutes out of that because I think Baines is more explosive. Either way it goes, could the Spurs be suffering from having too much talent? Or maybe Popovich just isn't managing it right this year because the Spurs are just taking way too many losses. But I still can't count them out because as long as the Spurs make it to the playoffs, Popovich will probably do the right thing and play the guys at the right amount of time. Maybe. Anyway, it goes. So, moving on. Let's see here. Next up, the Dallas Mavericks, the Houston Rockets, both those teams are good. The Rockets are good, really good, honestly, especially at their power forward, small forward position. And even to their shooting guard position. They've got like between Corey Brewer, Josh Smith, what's my guy's name, Montehunis, and there's that other guy. Either way it goes. And Dwight Howard and James Harden. That team is really loaded. That is just such a loaded team. Another great team in the West. And then you bring in the Memphis Grizzlies. Oh, they're amazing. And Portland Trailblazers. Now, my Portland Trailblazers have lost LaMarcus Aldridge for a couple of months, right? But this isn't a bad thing because it finally gives my man Thomas Robinson a chance to shine. Because that coach, Terry Stotts, is terrible when it comes to playing Thomas Robinson. Dude should have been getting way more play time. He really should have. I don't know how you're not playing Thomas Robinson more. Whatever. Not that I expected Portland to win it all anyway, because I still believe that they're like one superstar short, but that team still hasn't been played to its utmost, I don't believe. How do you not play Thomas Robinson? What are you doing? Anyway. But, that team's got such cold-hearted guys in Damian Lillard and LaMarcus Aldridge that, and Wesley, I always want to call that guy Wesley Snipes, but Wesley Matthews, they pull out a number of games, and they have, the second-best record in the West? But finally, notwithstanding, Golden State Warriors, or third-best record, the Golden State Warriors. Sick, disgusting. Will Kerr play David Lee more minutes? The last thing you want to do is lose the power of a player like David Lee. Get that man some minutes. If you're going to play him on the bench, fine, but get David Lee his minutes. That just seems like a wild one there, Kerr. This thing could blow up in your face. But at least you're getting Spike, and get Spike his minutes. There are very few centers in the league that can get you 20 points a night. You've got one, so you better play him. And we all know, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, you're riding on the backs of these guys and stuff. And, your Barnes guy and your, whatever the other guy's name is, those guys are all together and stuff. But I'm just saying, you play David Lee, and you better get Spikes his minutes, because those guys are just too good. Either way it goes, it's an exciting season, so many great teams, so balanced. I can't wait to the playoffs, but honestly, I'm in no rush. That's my time, that's my topics.